And right? So I had that armor, but I knew that I could just drop out and go take the test the next day and have my diploma and be fine. So, yeah, for you, basically. Yes, I was like, I'm not sitting here and taking like something in the morning and like wasting the second semester of my senior year doing stuff like that. I think it's your right. I went to
Krista looks young. Kurt's looking really good. This is the UWM Youth Jazz Ensemble. My name is Rosemary Walter, and I'm the director of this amazing group. We just had our final concert at UWM on Thursday, and so we're so excited to be able to open for the Milwaukee Jazz Orchestra tonight. It's such a great opportunity to do so, and we are just thrilled to be here. So we're going to, before we start our next piece, we are going to thank out like Happy Mother's Day. For all the moms that are here, I'm sure that if you brought your mom, I know I did. That's the thing to do today. But I also wanted to thank all of the mothers and especially parents that support the UWM Youth Jazz Ensemble, UJAY. We could not do this without you. We could not do this without you taking them to lessons, taking them to UWM, listening to them how to learn their instrument, which is hard to do. So again, thank you so much for everything that you have and contributed over the years so that we can have this amazing group here today. So our next tune, our first tune was called Time After Time. Our next tune is called A Night in Tunisia. We got one more tune for you, and then it's on to the Milwaukee Jazz Orchestra. But first, I'm going to introduce the band. Please hold your applause until the end. We have Eitan, who just finished that great solo on trumpet 5. We have Tessa on trumpet 4, we have Marla on trumpet 3, we have Logan on lead, we have Kyle on second. In the trombone section, we have Ben on 4th trombone and 3rd trombone. We have Jonas on lead trombone, we have Ellie on 2nd trombone, and then down the saxophones, we have Gina on Barry, Evan on tenor, James on alto, Isaac on alto, Zach on alto, and Luke on tenor and flute. Yes, doubling is exciting, it's hard. And then we also have Nico on piano, Jay on bass, and our last song is going to feature Jonah on drums. This is called The Way You Look Tonight. One, two. ragtime up to UJAY. Thank you so much. Up next is the Milwaukee Jazz Orchestra. Stick around.